Oh, and looks like we're live. Welcome, guys, to episode 2 of Mixed Martial Arts. We have a special guest. We have Jair Rozenstruik, we have Ian Heinisch, and we have Crypto Cairo, as well as Bryce on board. What's going on, guys?
What's up,
Good.
man?
What's up?
Pretty good, pretty good. Nice to be here with everyone today. I know I'm excited to talk some MMA. So without further ado, let's get started.
So I got the first question. Rozenstruik, I know you were getting ready to fight. Was it UFC 274? What happened in your last fight? Did your opponent pull out?
That was UFC 73, and
73.
yeah, my opponent Marcin Tybura, he got sick, he got stomach problems, and that's the only news I have. What happened with him? So I assume the UFC doctor checked it, and it was really necessary to pull out. So can't do nothing. Just to wish him get well soon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I know how frustrating that is. You put in a full camp and you get to the fight and you get to fight week and you're mentally prepared and then something happens to your opponent. And did they have enough time to look for a new opponent, or was it like a day or two before your fight?
Nah, it was really a day after the weigh-in.
Oh,
The news was like maybe 2 3 hours after the win. I get the news like the guy he can't fight, and yeah, it's nothing we could do when that happened. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man. It's super frustrating when that happens. Hopefully you got at least your show money, hopefully. And so now you got a fight schedule coming up.
No, I mean it's the same. I see it as the same camp. You keep doing what you have to do, and the most important thing is be in shape. And when the time comes, we can shine again.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I think a big win against Volkov, I think that puts you right back in the mix for at least a contender fight. So I know I'm really excited, man. Every time you fight, bro, you're one of the most, if not one of the most exciting heavyweights in the division right now. I know you came up short against Curtis Blades, but what has that fight taught you about just your journey against Curtis Blades? Are you working more wrestling, or have you implemented any new training in your schedule?
Nah, I mean absolutely. The journey has been awesome. Don't want to complain about that. In the fight with Curtis Blades, I mean, even if I do wrestling classes and all those things, he was a couple of steps ahead.
Yeah.
And yeah, what happened there, and then I think that fight taught me a lot, especially about my wrestling. And I think my overall game is coming around, and I think the best yet to come. So I'm being really comfortable with what's happening, and it's not all the time the wins only that happen. You won the W all the time, but the overall game became better. So I see it as a W as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We like to say it's not a loss; it's a lesson, and
Correct.
I know you learned a ton from that. Is there any partners that you're training with in particular? Because it looked like you did get taken down, but you were really good at getting back up most of the fight. So, is there any partners that you're training with a little more to help you with the wrestling at the moment?
Yeah, I work mostly as coach King Mo, Steve Marco. If it comes to wrestling, partners I work with Sack, Bujeja is the one
Uh-huh.
fighter. Also a really good grappler, Pessoa, also a heavyweight in the UFC. Marcelo, he's in Bellator. So we have all the experience there in the gym, and we have what it takes to get the job done. It's just a matter of time when we're gonna be at the top, and then be champion.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I'm excited to see your next fight, bro. And I know how it is. Like when I lost to Derek Brunson, it changed a lot for me, and I learned so much from that fight, and it was such a crucial part of my career. So once you get in that top 5, top 10, it's the littlest mistakes that will make you either win the fight or come up short. So I'm excited, bro. And Brandon, go ahead and ask any questions if you have.
Yeah, man. No, I'm excited for this next fight with Alexander Volkov. How do you see this fight going? Obviously, you see the victory, but is there anything in change of strategy that you see for this next fight?
Nah, mostly for me, I don't like to put down my game plan, but it's a big tree, and the only thing you got to do is chop it down and make sure it comes to the same level you are, so you can finish the fight. So the most important thing is being shape, move around, get the head movement. He's a powerful guy. He's tall, so you don't want to run into something hard, or so you don't want to get hit. But still, I've been working hard, and there's a lot of opportunities with this opponent, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, that's awesome. How do you see, how do you like the difference between, because you have over 76 kickboxing wins. What's the difference for you in preparations, besides the actual skill training between mixed martial arts and kickboxing? Is there anything else different besides the actual technical training that you take differently in an approach to a fight?
Now, I like to go with things that logic. That's logic. So it's this. I'm a guy who like to stand up. I didn't know how to fall down. So with MMA, you gotta learn how to fall down and get back up, and that's one of the most hard and difficult part. So when you get
Absolutely.
down, it's harder to get back up because then your energy go different in different ways. And if you don't know how to spread that energy, you can be like tired, exhausted, and yeah, I think that's the difference mostly for me in pro MMA.
Awesome. Do you know? Do you miss going back? Because I believe the last time you competed in kickboxing was like 5 years ago. Do you miss going fighting in kickboxing, or do you prefer sticking with MMA?
Nah, I prefer with MMA. Why? I had a feeling with MMA. I've been working harder, train more hours. Kickboxing was more like a natural thing. After like what 14, 30 years, it was more natural thing. And now with MMA, I've got so much things to learn, especially the wrestling part. And yeah, so it's a whole package, and I'm enjoying it, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And I just had a question too. Rozenstruik, going back to UFC 273, man, I know what it's like to put in a camp. You got to pay all this money. And, hopefully you got your show money. But a lot of that money went out the window with the camp, and you show up to the fight and you don't even have opportunity to get your win bonus and the 50G bonus and that. What do you think about Marshall Inu coming in and just really helping fighters financially with their camp, with injuries, when they get a fighter pulling out or they pulling out of a fight with injuries? What's your thought on them coming in and paying fighters in crypto and helping them out with the journey, which is the fight game?
Now, I mean, what Marshall Inu is doing is a really big help for us as fighters, especially things that you don't have to think about, like the fight camp, paying coaches or paying extra rooms. So it's a big help because as a fighter, you're fight for money, so you got to see it. So when you get the money and you need to pay coaches or pay things that it's not are not your expensive, like personally, so it take a lot from your pocket. So when you guys come in, Marshall Inu, I mean, that's a big help for us, and yeah, we're happy to working with you guys, man. Been awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did you know, or did you trade crypto at all before you found out about Marshall Inu?
Yeah, I have this strength and conditioning coach, John Kelly. He's been give me a lot of information about crypto, mostly about bitcoins actually, and he's a part of it, and then yeah, I know a little bit, not too much, but he gave me the most info that I know.
Absolutely. Well, now I feel like with me too, it was hard to understand it till you had some skin in the game. So Now you have some Ethereum in your wallet, and I think that's awesome. And I see Ethereum having huge potential, maybe reaching 10,000 this year. So, that money could easily double, if not more. When you were coming up as a pro, or before you were a pro as an amateur, was it difficult to support yourself and your family financially?
Yeah, especially it's hard because we're all working for what we want to, but at the same time, the money that you spend for the camp, it's more than the money you spend like at home for personal stuff in your family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I know you're from Suriname. How is the difference in basically training preparation when have you done your camps over there versus over here in I know you're doing your camp right here in American Top Team right now. What's the biggest difference in resources or anything like that?
Other than myself, the biggest difference is training partners.
Okay.
I have Coach Michael Bob all the time with me, but I didn't have the training partners. And now that I'm doing pro MMA for 4 or 5 years in a row, then I need the sparring partners, the grappling partners, the wrestlers that want to take me apart, and so I can grapple with them and see where my level skills are. So I think that's the big difference.
Okay. And how is that transition over? Was it a big shock? When did you come over to the United States?
It wasn't that hard to make the transition, but the thing is, um, the experience that the fighters has.
Mm-hmm.
See it as this. I'm gonna give you a different example. Like I'm training with a fighter in Suriname, and I'm training a fighter in America. That's a UFC fighter. So he's already in the top of the world, and he has that MMA wrestling skills. So it brings me further on the road and make me more sharp, so I can do my job perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I feel Rozenstruik. I felt like I knew about you before, but when you fought Overeem and you hit that viral knockout, which split his lip wide open in the 5th round, what were you feeling at the time? Because you guys both looked so exhausted, but you managed to pull energy together and hit him with that devastating strike, probably one of the most crazy knockouts in UFC history. What was going on in your mind in that 5th round, and how did you get that energy to do that?
Nah, it was more the last 15 seconds of the fight. So the coach would say, "You have to knock him out. If not, we lose this fight." So I was looking in his eyes, and I hit him with the left uppercut. And I saw him walking backwards, so I know I rock him. So it was now or never. So I'm kind of jumping in because he was a little bit farther than me. So if I didn't jump, I will never reach him.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's gonna take something special, and I had the feeling that this was the moment. Saw his eyes, he's rocking out. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's just kind of that last adrenaline dump at the end of the fight where your coach is yelling, you're down, and you just pulled all the last energy you had in your body, probably more than you even thought you had. And man, I gotta say that was one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen. And how did your popularity go up after that? Did you feel like you had a lot of star power? Were more people hitting you up? Were a lot more people noticing you after that fight?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell from my social media, everybody was sending me the footage of what they catch that day, and I think it was awesome that I made so big impact into the MMA world and become a heavyweight contender of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You were all over ESPN, and man, it was cool to see. A good teammate of mine said, "Winning solves problems." Joe Warren used to always tell me that. And on top of winning, huge knockouts solve a lot of problems. So I'm sure you solved a lot of problems that night, and obviously you were on the radar of the UFC, and you got yourself in title contention after that fight. So, man, that was an insane fight, and I hope to see another huge highlight reel on your fight June 4th. So we'll be watching for that for sure.
Thank you. I can't wait till June 4th. You know how it is. It's always fire when we enter the octagon.
For sure. Hey, quick question. Do you have any stories of when you were coming up with some difficult situations that came up, you preparing for a fight, maybe something happened, maybe a car broke down, anything like that? Do you have any stories from any upcoming fights that you had?
I had only one story. I had a fight with Cyril Gain, like
Okay.
2 days before the fight. My ankle got swollen up. I couldn't walk, and I was like, I don't want to call that fight off. I just want to go in there and do what I can and try to win the fight. But I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was that my ankle got swollen for that fight. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's the only story. Other than that, I always go in there and do what I can and try to win my fight.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And I'm just gonna jump in. But Jorginho, I know you're from Suriname and stuff. I'm just curious, how did you get into kickboxing and stuff in Suriname? Because obviously I know the sport's probably not as big, or I might be wrong, but I don't know how big of a sport it is over there in Suriname.
The most popular sport here in Suriname is more uh, basketball, football, and yeah, volleyball, I guess. So I think that's it.
So yeah, how'd you get into kickboxing then? I guess if it wasn't too
It
popular.
was more getting to kickboxing was more for me being playing soccer, and see these coaches were teaching kickboxing, and then I wanted to fight one of the guys in the gym, and I got my ass beat. So I went home and come back the next day and said to the coach, if he can train me to beat that guy, then I'll become here every day. And that was it. Suddenly I become one of the famous fighter in the world. And yeah.
I love
So,
it. That's an incredible story. Carl, I know you wanted to jump in.
oh yeah, I was wondering. So, when you said you swung by the gym and started training, did you have aspirations of playing professional soccer, and you were just training to up your physical condition, or what made you pop into the gym and take interest?
I was a little bit aggressive on the field with the players, and then yeah, one of the players said, hey, if you want to fight, just go in there, and there's a gym where there are fighters, and then you can train with them. And that was the moment, because I was fighting a lot with a teammate, and then he said that, and I went there and just with a big mouth everybody, and then one of the guys said, okay, let's go, no worries, and I got my ass beat.
so so your
Crazy.
teammates actually they noticed you were aggressive on the field, and they said if you want to fight, go to the gym.
Correct.
That is awesome.
So also Rozenstruik, I know there's a bunch of good kickboxers that have coming out of Suriname, like Tyrone Spong. Is there some is I know Suriname has like a Dutch. They come from like a Dutch background. The Dutch were occupancy at one time in Suriname. Do you have any good
Yeah, I mean,
Dutch?
like, almost 8 years ago, we were a colony from Dutch,
Yes.
and yeah, a lot of people of Suriname moved to the Netherlands as well. So, um, and in the Netherlands, you have the best kickboxing in the world. So, there, powerful people like people from my country move there and get the chance to practice kickboxing and become world champions like Tyron Spong, Rain Bonjasky, and Esther Wolf.
Yeah.
We can keep going. It's a lot of names. So, yeah, I think that's the story a little bit.
Absolutely. Do any of the Dutch kickboxing coaches come down to Suriname, or is it more the people from Suriname go to the Netherlands to train?
I mean, my experience was Michael Bob, my head coach. He went to Suriname to train, and then he kind of get an opportunity to train some kids, and I was one of them. And after I think a year or two, he gave me this opportunity, bring me to the Netherlands to do some fights, and I did 2 fights that time, win all 2 by knockout. So that was the
Wow.
opportunity to enter the world of kickboxing in the Netherlands. And one of these promoters just signed me, and I was going back and forth 3 months in the Netherlands, doing 1 or 2 fights, come back because you can't stay there in the Netherlands because they have the papers. And it was amateur. So
Yeah.
everybody saw the potential in me, so they start focusing on me, and it was a short amount of time, and I became famous in the kickboxing world, fighting big names, like in Russia, Romania, Germany. So yeah.
Absolutely. So Marshall Inu has sponsored MMA events down in Brazil and South America through LFA. They have paid over $20,000 to the fighters in bonuses. What does that mean for people down in South America getting that kind of money as either a young pro or an amateur to be able to make bonuses like that?
I mean, it means a lot, even for me as a pro fighter being in the United States. But imagine a fighter from Suriname get a bonus of $10,000. Means a lot. That means your camp is fully covered. You don't even have to think about your another camp because it's already covered. But I would love to bring you guys around because soon they're gonna be planning events again, MMA event, kickboxing events, and I don't know what you guys can do for them or for us. So I think it's gonna be a huge help around South America, and in that way we can create more professional fighters, and in the future we can have more UFC fighters from Suriname because I still think we have the strong people here down here, and yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, so when your kickboxing career was over, what made you decide to get into the MMA?
I mean, my kickboxing career was never over. It was I can do 2 things. The orthodox style that I have is it's a style that I can add MMA or add my wrestling to it and start doing MMA. That was the conversation me and my coach had, and then we did that, and then somehow it happens. I'm start fighting my first MMA fight in Russia, knocked this guy out, and the same guy asked for a rematch. I fought him in May, and in September I had a rematch against him again, and I knocked him out again. Then and then the coach Mike said to me, "Hey, I think we have to start taking some wrestling classes," and that's how it started.
Oh wow.
And
How,
I was doing the wrestling classes, and I was still fighting kickboxing in the meantime.
Gotcha. So basically, you just decided, did you want to test yourself in MMA, or was it more you thought the potential to make more money in MMA?
I mean, more money, and it was an opportunity to just move forward in life. Kickboxing was slowing down a little bit, if you ask me, and right now it's like it's nothing is really happening if it's not with glory, and yeah, it's really slow with kickboxing. So I'm happy that I made the switch to MMA, and that I'm fighting now for the biggest platform in MMA. So it means a lot, and it saved my career, saved a lot of things, and I know I can be one of the that.
Absolutely. Well, we are looking forward to your next fight, that's for sure. And I know Alexander Volkov, he's a striker as well. So I know this fight is going to be fireworks for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I can't wait till June 4th, and I'm working hard to get this job done.
Yeah, man. After him, do you have your eyes set on anyone else in the heavyweight division?
I mean, everybody that's a rank above me makes sense, so I'm focusing
Mhm.
on coming back in the top 5 and then make sure I take over the belt.
Absolutely. And anyone could get it, huh?
Of course. One second, real quick.
All right, Ian. Well, let me ask you a quick question. How are you recovering, first of all? Because that when was your procedure?
So it was about 6 weeks ago,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean, it's good, man. It's never as fast as you want it to be. You know, these things take time.
Mhm.
However, though, I was out in Denver, Colorado for a week getting checked up on my doctor. He's seeing huge progress, and obviously, I'm hitting mitts. I'm doing cardio. I'm basically doing everything except going live at the moment. So
Mhm.
I'm keeping my body sharp, and I'm just really letting myself heal. You know, my whole career I've pushed through it, but obviously there's some injuries you just can't push through. And I'm having time right now to be able to, really just grow in different areas, right? Like I'm really obviously growing in the crypto space, growing my platform there. And but I'm looking at this summer, so I'm excited to get back in there.
That's good. Do you notice a difference in preparations when you're training for a fight versus when you're just kind of training just to get back in it, just for the love of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you notice a
Yeah.
difference in the environment a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, my whole career I've trained like I'm in a fight camp 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm kind of like listening to my body more. Hey, like my head's feeling a little weird, or I didn't feel good that day. So I'm going to take it back a little, take it back a notch. And yeah, I mean, it's more technical right now. I'm working on techniques and working on stuff that I'm not as good at. And then when you get live and you get into camp, it's really just sharpening what you are good at and game planning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's really the balance. You're just trying to figure out, how hard to push your body, and then give give yourself some time to rest and focus on other aspects of your either life or your martial arts career or different areas. Rozenstruik, I mean, we have a man that has almost 100. I mean, probably including amateur, over 100 sanctioned fights. When it comes to training and injuries, what's your approach? Because as Ian said, training like you're in a fight all the time, while that may be the mentality to have initially, your body starts to break down, when you're doing that too much. So how do you approach training and injuries, especially since you have so many fights?
No, I mean, me as a fighter, I have over 100 contact fights. So we fight with injury all the time. You've been injured
Mhm.
in the gym because playing the game. If I have to play the game or in practice with an opponent that is not on my level, so that means you don't help me. So we
Mhm.
always choose we go hard a few weeks, like 3 weeks before the fight, we slow down with sparring. But before that, we just hit it real hard, and you get injured all the time. And
Yeah.
we fight all the time as well. Like sometimes your hands hurt, you have something on your ankle, your shin hurt, or your knee hurt. But you've been there for what, more than 100 fights. You're not gonna kick back or have stop the fight or cancel the fight because of that. So that's my what I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
100% going into a fight, so it makes sense. Have you ever gotten to a point where you injured yourself so much to where you couldn't train for an extended period of time?
No, never. Thank
Oh, wow, never. Yeah, that's and for somebody that has over 100 fights, that's
That's
very rare to
legit.
say. Yeah.
How long do you
God. I
take
mean, I
off after a
have
fight, Rozenstruik?
100 fights, but most of the fights, let's say I have 76 wins, 64 by knockout, and in MMA I'm 12 and 3, so 12 or 11 by knockout, so it means a lot, and that means you didn't get hurt because you take care of business really fast in matches, so maybe that's why.
Oh,
So
that
after a fight, Rozenstruik, how long do you take usually to recover? Like if it's it just depends on the fight, or is there a set time? Do you take like 2 weeks off after a fight from the gym, or are you right back in?
10 days, 10 days max, and then I start training, do my cardio. Cardio is one of my personal thing that I do. I don't have to do with no one. I can do it at home. Just go for a run 2-3 miles and do some fitness and things like that. And like now, I love to do grappling in my free time. Just go to the gym and just roll. So 2-3 times a week, I do that. So just to level my skills, my skill set. Yeah.
Now I know switching to MMA obviously was a career move, but do you genuinely enjoy like the grappling, the wrestling? Was that something you kind of fell in love with once you discovered it?
Fell in love with is a different word for kickboxer, but I see a lot of improvement with my grappling, and I know I choke some guys. So if I fight against a guy as Curtis Blades, I'm gonna look bad because he's one of the best wrestlers in the heavyweight. But can I survive? Yeah, I can. Because don't think maybe some of the fighters think I'm gonna go in there, get controlled, and get submitted. No, it's not that easy. I work hard and I make sure I survive all the rounds and try to find an opportunity to put that fighter away. And I mean playing the game, it's a lot. You gotta think of a lot of things. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rozenstruik, going back to cryptocurrency, what's your thoughts on Marshall Inu basically changing the game of MMA? Before Marshall Inu came to the game, no UFC fighter or any MMA fighter was getting bonuses in cryptocurrency. Now that Marshall Inu has came, you're going to get a $40,000 bonus if you get chosen by the community in Ethereum. And then if you win the fan favorite through the UFC, you get 30,000 in Bitcoin. What's your thoughts? Like my buddy Gilbert Burns, my teammate, he won the 40,000 and the 30,000. So that's $70,000 in cryptocurrency. Do you think the sport's going to keep evolving with more crypto being involved in it?
No, absolutely. I think of course, it's a huge help for the MMA community, and we're all happy as fighters if we can make some extra money and get more respect for what we're doing, because what we do it with our soul. You're being there in the gym for hours, and now Marshall Inu comes down and give us respect, paying us for the work we're doing, and extra. I mean, it's a lot, and I'm happy that you guys came around, because see this, as a fighter, you earn this money, and fighting here doesn't last long. So any extra money that you can get will help you through any situation. So, I mean, you guys come as huge help for the MMA community, and we respect that, if I can speak on my behalf.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but are you holding your crypto long? Are you holding it for like your retirement plan, or are you going to cash out in the near future?
No, I think I want to hold my crypto down. So I'm going to talk to John. He's my strength and conditioning coach. And I think he has more to say about it than me. And if he can give me more info, of course, I'm going to read on the internet, see what I can find and where I can keep my Bitcoin or even my crypto money. But I think it's important for me to keep it for a while. I wanted to buy in for a while now. Like, I think when John told me about it, it was one Bitcoin was 9,000.
Yes.
And then John say, "I told you about it," and I'm like, "Yeah, But now I got a chance with you guys to get in it, and I will make sure I keep up.
Yeah, that's
I love to hear that.
Go ahead, Cairo. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love to hear that you're going to hold it. And in crypto, we call that diamond handing. You have diamond hands. Yeah.
Your life.
All
Well,
right.
because, I mean, everyone, of course, has different goals and things, but a lot of my Ethereum I'll hold for over a decade because I think crypto and the blockchain is so young. Just as when people used to buy Ethereum for 200 or 300, and now we look back and say, man, I wish that I would have bought a bunch then. I think people will look back now. I think Ethereum will go to 40 or 50,000 dollars in ETH one day, and people look back and say, "Oh my gosh, you got it when it was 3,000." So I love to hear that because I think it as the world adopts and technology moves into crypto and on the blockchain, I think that these investments could really print out very well, just like people who bought eBay and Amazon and these things very early on. So obviously it's gained some popularity, but it's going to increase a lot in value in the future. So I love to hear that you're going to diamond hand it. That's very based.
Of course, a knockout artist
Thank
like
you.
Rozenstruik is going to be a diamond hander, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, folks. So you heard it here first. Rozenstruik is going to hodl his crypto. That's awesome. Rozenstruik, I was just at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, and you got guys like Kevin O'Leary, who's from Shark Tank and just a capital venture businessman, and he's talking about, regulation coming to crypto, coming to Bitcoin. So these big hedge funds and institutions are going to start pouring money from all these billionaires and millionaires. So, man, like you were early when it was 9,000, but anyone who's listening to this, and Rozenstruik, just so you know, Bitcoin is at 40,000 ish right now, and we are still early. So the future is bright for cryptocurrency. Regulation is bullish because there's going to be more money flowing in from institutions. And you saw it during the crypto conference. Now UFC is paying in Bitcoin. McDonald's and Walmart are going to start accepting Bitcoin. And you're going to be able to buy a house in Bitcoin, if not now, very soon. So I think it's a great idea that you're hodling your coin. You're holding on for dear life. And yeah, man, I hope you get the bonus in your next fight. We're definitely going to be looking for that. And I hope the community gets behind you when you get a big knockout.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's one thing that's about MRI, not just what we're doing for fighters, but what the community is doing for these fighters too, is that, we have a huge community of people that supports, and even people that are just getting into MMA that are joining the space, they're now watching the UFC events, and now they get to decide, hey, they see you win by a big knockout. Hey, let's vote for him for a fight of the night bonus. And now MRI is giving somebody, what was it, 40 or 60 for the bonus.
The last bonus was 70,000 split between 3 people. Prior to that, I believe it was 40,000 split between 2. So they wanted to add another person in and then up the bonus structure there.
Oh, awesome. But yeah, I don't know if you've felt the love from the martial community, but that's one thing that I truly love about MRI is that there's just a big pool of people that are just really diehard fans and that really like to support the fighters. And not only are they doing it with their views, attentions, and votes, but they're doing it with their wallets too. They're voting with their wallets. So that's something that I really appreciate. What do you think about new fans that come in that see you for the first time, or people that are coming in from the crypto world over to MMA? Oh. Oh.
Well, what I think on it is, first off, you're educating fighters and you're educating fight fans on the crypto space. So not only are fighters getting paid and investors, but now you're educating more fighters on how to use cryptocurrency, what cryptocurrency is, how to download a wallet, how to hide your seed phrase, how to not get scammed. There's so much in an educational aspect of the Marshall Inu that has brought. I mean, we're not gonna sit here and debate it, but we all know, everyone in the community knows, what is Crypto.com doing? Exactly what Marshall Inu started, right? So, and it's not a competition between the two of them. It's let's get behind the fighters and get them paid more. You know, Marshall Inu is paying fighters. Crypto.com was paying the UFC. Now Crypto.com is paying both. So it's really cool to see Marshall Inu spark that change. I told you guys from the beginning, Marshall Inu is going to make history. It has made history, and it's just the beginning. It's going to make more history, and it's a game changer coin. The game changer coins are the Doge, the Sheeb, the Saitama, the coins that literally just don't stop running, and they make a statement and an impression in every crypto investor. And on the flip side of that, you have crypto investors that are now learning about mixed martial arts, like you were saying, Brandon. Now you have people that have probably never watched a UFC fight, start investing in this coin, make a lot of money with this coin, start getting involved into the UFC. It was cool when I was at UFC 273. We saw a ton of people in the stands, probably over 25, 30 people that I saw personally that were wearing Marshall Inu shirts. And I was wearing one at UFC 272, and we were probably the only 5 people wearing it. So people are learning about what Marshall Inu is. Crypto investors are starting to learn about what the UFC is, and it's a perfect bridge between the gap. It's 2 communities that really align with the same interest, and it just makes me more bullish on crypto, and it makes me think that the UFC future is going to be even brighter, and more fighters are going to make more money, and everyone's going to come out a winner in this game. So it's an amazing statement, and it's amazing in the history. Our kids are going to look back in 10 years. Fighters are going to look back in 10 years. They're going to be getting $1 million bonuses in crypto, and they're going to know who started this revolution of them getting crypto, and that's Marshall Inu. So, that's my opinion. I said it was from the beginning, and you're seeing it unfold every single day.
I completely agree. And the sport of MMA is still relatively young in comparison to all the other sports that are well established. So I mean, we're seeing fighter pay go up. We're seeing people like MRI, Marshall Inu, stepping in and assisting these fighters and continuing to grow the sport. And I truly believe, as an already growing sport, it's international. Crypto being behind international sport like this is just gonna launch the sport even further into new heights that we haven't seen before. So I can't wait to see the future of MMA. I can't wait to see the future of crypto. And obviously I can't wait to see the future of MRI, because we are going straight to the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's cool to see the fastest growing sport in the world, which is the UFC, which is mixed martial arts. You have so many other promotions actually popping up now. You got Eagle FC, you got ONE FC, some of the most insane fights ever last night in ONE FC. You got Bellator, which is fighting tonight in Hawaii. I got some friends on that card. And you got the PFL, which you saw a former opponent of mine who I beat in my second fight. Really good guy, Shoeface, Antonio Carlos Jr., won the $1 million tournament last year. And he just won another fight by a quick submission. Super good guy. It's cool to see him doing his thing, making stacks of cash in the PFL. It's a cool way. They have their own season and stuff like that. So it's just cool to see how the sport is evolving and growing. And you got the fastest growing investment spot for people to put money in, which is crypto. I mean, it's literally digital gold. We're in the gold rush of the digital age. And you're seeing so many people flood into the crypto space, and you're seeing it grow everywhere. And eventually you're going to be able to pay everything in crypto. Like it says it in the Bible. There's one day there will be a one world currency. I don't know if it's going to be one crypto, but I know it's going to be the crypto space in general. So, it's an amazing partnership between MMA and crypto, and you're seeing so many coins follow suit. You got a baseball coin now. You got a wrestling coin now. You got Gas Pump Inu. You got all these different coins that are actually having a real world use case utility, which is paying back to the community that they're finding a problem and they're being part of the solution. And MRI started that revolution in the crypto space. It's a game changer, and it's historic. I'm excited, guys. We had a huge pump in crypto or in Marshall Inu the other day. It was a nice pump. We got back up to 6 cents. We're consolidating. I think it's spring loading and getting ready to hit all-time highs. And also a big monument landmark for Marshall Inu. They reached 10,000 holders. That is not easy to do in the crypto space. So when you reach that 10,000, that's a huge milestone in the coin. And I see there's a staking feature now. They're about to do a huge marketing push. I mean, how could you not want to invest in this coin right now? And actually, I think you're really going to get it on sale because I think we're at the floor. It's spring loaded. And I think we're going to see all-time highs real soon, which is over 19 cents. So, I mean, that's huge gains. And I know a lot of people have already made money. And I know a lot of other people are going to buy into it. And another fun fact, and I'll let you guys talk, 60% of the holders have never sold a coin. That's unheard of. Like that just shows people like Rozenstruik, they're hodling their coins. They're holding on for dear life. They're diamond-handed, as Cairo said. And that just brings strength in the coin. And we're getting new holders every day. And we're going to see all-time highs very soon. Not financial advice, but that's my opinion. And if I was a betting man, I would put the house on that one.
Yeah, and just from the last spaces, I mean, we hit 10K holders, a huge milestone. The team's constantly working on new things for the community, new things for MRI. We have a fiat on-ramp on the website, so you could buy MRI with cash just straight through. So accessibility is that's another thing that's going on. Nothing but big, huge leaps and gains from this team, from this community, and I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a question for Bryce. Bryce, it's good to hear from you, man. I know you've been very busy working behind the scenes. How's it been going as far as being a developer of one of the biggest coins hitting the scene right now? And how are you managing to continue to work so hard in the background and also managing all the stress of being a developer? Because sometimes I think about starting a coin, but then I kind of remember all the responsibility and the stress that comes behind it. So, Bryce, what are you doing for yourself to just kind of be able to manage this heavy workload that you had, and also, just kind of the obligations and some of the stress that comes along with being a developer?
Well, that's quite a question. But yeah, it's definitely not easy for sure. The one thing I will have to say is that it's really rewarding. The incredible thing about this is that I get to meet people from all walks of life, especially with MRI. Like, it's been incredible because I've been a big fan of MMA for quite some time. But yeah, not only interacting with athletes such as yourself, Brandon and Ian, but also meeting people on the crypto side, like interacting with Cairo and some of the biggest influencers on Twitter, like KJ and B Roots. It's a lot of work, especially this last week with the whole implementing the staking mechanism on MRI with the video devs, as well as something else that we're looking to launch next week. So stay tuned. We're probably going to organize a Twitter Spaces, so everyone listening, I know I'm excited, but yeah, we'll definitely organize something for Monday where we have a big announcement.
All right, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it's definitely a lot for sure. But it's also great because I know we have a wonderful team behind me. I know like Brandon's on our team, and it's incredible seeing some of the stuff he's done for us with the video editing, and even just him being here, helping us interview fighters. Like, I only know so much. I've never been an athlete in that regard. So having you two on to ask the more technical questions in regards to the MMA scene, just kickboxing, it's incredible, So yeah, I hope I answered your question. I know it was quite a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You truly, you've changed lives of so many fighters. I know you've changed my life. You've helped to be part of my recovery. For sure, you've helped speed it up. I know you've changed Brandon's life, even Cairo's as well. Like, I'm literally dropping my very first debut of my YouTube channel this Sunday, and my first video is going to be MRI, because that's what's really gotten me so involved in crypto. Yes, I was involved before, but I took it to a whole new level with you guys because it was something I could really believe in and get behind. And so I just know from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for what you've done for me in my career, not only in MMA, but in crypto as well. And I mean, look at Brandon. Brandon's he's going to be a good interviewer now. Before, Brandon, was a little camera shy, this and that. And now look at Brandon. He's interviewing some of the top fighters in the UFC. So I know he's very appreciative to that. And that's going to help him be even a better interviewer and just be a better personality for when he does make it to the UFC. So that's super huge. And then I just know some people don't really understand staking. I know people that are new to crypto. Maybe there's some MMA fans listening to this. So just could you clarify a little bit of that? So say I have $100,000 in Marshall Inu and I want to stake it for 1 month. What is my APY on that? What is the return that I would get on that money?
Okay, so the wonderful thing about crypto, for those who don't understand staking is basically collecting interest on your investment, same way you would do normally through your bank. However, in modern day life, the interest you collect on in your savings account or in your checking account is maybe 1-2% at most. It's not much you can really accrue on that. However, when it comes to staking, you can earn interest in the thousands of percents, hundreds, with MRI. I have to double check the site because it is a variable APY. So it does fluctuate depending on the number of people who have staked it. I believe last time I checked last night, I think we had over 8 or 9% of the supply of holders already staked, which is incredible to see.
Wow.
And they're just compounding their wealth. They're compounding their MRI into more MRI, which is incredible. I know ideally by sometime next week, you'll be able to withdraw it and stuff so people can unstake. And then if they want to just have it there ready, or if they want to restake it again, you can up the length of the staking that you have. But yeah, that's pretty much it in the simplest terms that I can really put it in.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, guys, you put money in a savings account, you're going to get like some stupid low number, 0.02%. When you guys stake your crypto, I mean, usually staking, like if you stake Ethereum and Voyager, you can get around 7%. So, and I don't know if is that monthly or for the year?
I have to double check. I'm not sure, but
okay.
It's normally depending on the period that you set it for, because you can set it for different periods. You could set to stake for a week, bi-weekly, up to a month, or even a couple months. I'd have to double check the mechanisms on the website, or that's connected to the website. But yeah, it is a variable thing, so you can stake it for as long as you want, or as short as you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the more people that are in the liquidity pool, the longer you stake it, the more APY you get. Brandon, I just wanted to ask you, and I want to follow up with Cairo. How has Marshall Inu changed your life? Not only the knowledge that you have with crypto, but editing, streaming, speaking. What has this done for your life, and what do you think this is going to do for your career?
Oh, well, first of all, yeah, I mean, thank you, Bryce, first of all, for introducing me to this world. So, quick short story, a while back, it was funny when Rozenstruik was saying he heard about Bitcoin when it was at 9 or 10K, because that's when I got into crypto initially. And back then, I didn't have much money to my name. I think I invested in Bitcoin. I think it was Litecoin, a couple other small things. Made a little bit of money, but then rent was due at the end of the month. So I took everything I had out of crypto, and then I had a couple rough years. MRI now has recently reintroduced me into crypto, and I've just been learning so much. And not only just by the education piece of cryptocurrency, but my daily life has changed. This is my job now. MRI has provided opportunity and a different way of living. I could, first of all, I have a community of people that knows that I train, they support it, they support my dream. Most jobs when you go to, you talk to your boss and you have a black eye or whatever, they're going to look at you weird. Oh, hey, I got to take a week off for a fight. They're probably not going to understand. So, first of all, having people and having team members around me that completely understand what I do, that's just something that I just feel a lot more comfortable with. As well, being able to utilize some things that I've learned along the lines of other jobs and being able to apply to something I'm really passionate about. I mean, that's just something that you can't get anywhere else. What kind of different jobs have you had, Ian, to bounce between while trying to manage your MMA career? I'm sure they all weren't the best ideal jobs. I'm sure you didn't like all these jobs that you had to do, but you had to make ends meet. You had to make it happen. For me now, I get the opportunity to, not only do what I love day to day by training and fighting, but now I get to interact with the MMA community. I get to look into crypto. I'm interested in crypto. I love learning about these things. So, just my day to day, spending my day to day, I'm a lot happier. Like I had an injury a couple years ago, went through a really dark period, had to, grind, work. I was just in a really dark phase for like past couple years. Recently, like just because of Bryce and MRI and the community, like you guys have literally changed my life. Like my day to day is a lot better. I feel a lot better going into work. I feel a lot better producing these things. And it just gets me that much more excited when I go into training and go into these fights. That's like I have a whole community backing me, and and they all support me. So yeah, my life has completely changed due to MRI, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I know, man. Like literally, too, I feel the same way. When you go through an injury and all your life revolved around training, and you can't train how you want to, it brings you to a dark place. So, from the bottom of my heart, I know from Brandon too. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Simon. Thank you to everyone on the team. Because I would be losing my mind right now because I'm not able to train as much as I want. I don't feel as good as I do. Like I'm not able to do what I want. But crypto has really been a great outlet for me right now, and it's be able to put my energy on that, and not focus on I haven't fought in so long or this and that. So I really appreciate that. And Cairo, I wanted to ask you. I know you've been in crypto for a while. You have a huge influence on Twitter. You've worked with some other coins in the past. What's it like working with Marshall Inu, though, from all the other coins that you've worked with, and how has it really changed your life as well?
Well, first of all, I want to say congrats on starting your YouTube channel and just getting more plugged in. Man, as you're seeing, like the crypto industry is just so young. It's great to see crypto.com get into some professional sports, FTX, same thing, getting the arena and all these things. So I love to be a part of this emerging industry and invest in things like Marshall Inu because I just really enjoy the mission. And so typically whenever I invest in a token, I give it about 3 weeks to look at the team, and look at the work being done, look at the community that's forming around it, and then really make a decision. Am I going to pour time and energy into really being a part of the community, because there's so many different coins, as you guys both know. There's hundreds that launch every day. So there's really been 2 coins to date that I can think of that really just stealth launched out of nowhere. You got some projects like Luna, these bigger ones, Matic, Ethereum. There was pre-sales for those, meaning they announced and they talked about their roadmap and all these things. And you could invest before. And then things like MRI, just stealth launches, which means that there's been a team assembled. They have plans, but they kind of just launch it. And whoever finds it, finds it. So you never know with these tokens how things are going to go. If 3 months ago you asked me if I thought that I'd be co-hosting spaces with the biggest meme project to date of the year, talking to fighters and world champions, I would have thought you were crazy. But being able to do that has really helped me out a lot, just to grow my following, grow a presence, which, when I got into crypto, I didn't care about too much in the beginning. Hey, I'm going to make my investments and, I'll just kind of stay silent, lay low, get to know a few people. But then I noticed in the space, there are these different influencers and people that have a lot of influence over the market, because it's just like any brand, if you have a voice, you can talk about different things and show the spotlight on different things. So I got in Marshall Inu very early, actually the first day. I posted about it on Twitter. I know a lot of the people that follow me were able to get in, and man, just hearing stories about people putting in like $1,000 and of course, depending on when you invested, but I didn't talk to a single person who invested at least relatively early that was not up significantly. And if you look at the metrics, a lot of those people are still holding. It's over 50% have never sold a token. So that's because of the community that's formed. But I really think back to the only other token that really formed this way, stealth launched, came out of nowhere, was Kiba Inu. And another project I love, another great family, another great community. And they really have two things in common. They have hardworking teams. They have very hardworking communities that they're on Twitter. They're telling everyone about, the work that's being done, all these things. And both of those projects really helped form me as an account in crypto, as I poured a lot of time and energy into volunteering and helping out wherever I could, whether it's writing a thread, just helping with odds and ends, or co-hosting the spaces. These things have really allowed me to have more of a voice in the crypto space, and have given me a better platform as someone who has valuable information, which makes me really happy because, I've always been a person of, I believe that those who do good things, face good adversity, have the right heart, have integrity, have honest intentions, and work hard will prevail. So the crypto is dominated by like so many scammers, I know you guys have invested in things known as like rugs, where you invest and then hours later, days later, the token price just goes to zero because the team pulled the liquidity and you get ripped off. And that's why we need regulation in this field, because these scammers are just getting away with these, chintzy projects, and they didn't even intend to build a project in the first place. So they're literally out there scamming people for money. So when I find a project that's actually, the team is honest, they do what they say they're going to do, they work hard, the community gathers around it, I really want to pour my all into helping wherever I can. And I want to have that voice as someone who talks about good, honest teams and potentially good investments. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I am actually looking at going back to school to get my financial advisor certification so that I can give financial advice. But right now, I can't do that. I can just say, hey, I bought this coin here, and I think it's looks bullish and things like this. We have to kind of watch how we, say that, so we're never giving advice. But it's really given me a better platform to shine the spotlight on honest people, honest communities, and to be part of just a movement that's happening in meme coins. Typically before, Marshall knew, there's probably an example here and there, like Floki, I know, built I think a girls' school in Africa. Floki was a big meme coin, and there was some charitable efforts, but nothing like this, where it's based around a certain group of people to really make alliances with and support and sponsor, whether it's bonuses, health needs, everything. This has never been done before in the history of crypto, where a meme coin allocated a fund to help these people out and actually put it to work. There's been people who said they're going to do things and they don't actually spend this fund on people because you never see any proof or evidence. So this is the first time this has ever been done. And to have it have this much great success just goes to show you the crypto space is hungry for honest, loyal, hardworking teams who actually have a purpose and who get it done. So I think it's helping set the standard for the space as a whole. And it's really propelled me and the influence that I'm able to have. So I'm just beyond grateful. And it's also just really cool talking to you guys. And I've learned a lot about MMA, just being part as well. And have taken a very great interest. I've started training a little bit. And it's just an epic community. And every fight night, you know, I'm now streaming the fights. I watch them as I learn more about it. It's way more fun to watch because I understand a little bit more of what's going on, and I realize how hard like some of these submissions or you know, just certain aspects of MMA really are. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I forget which fight we were watching last pay-per-view.
I think you're referencing the Mackenzie Dern and the Mackenzie Dern when she was trying the Kimura off the cage. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah.
That was it. That was insane. And just to know, I mean, the creativity, the skill, the strength to be able to even pull that off was, I mean, I was just mind blown. I'm like, this is pure athleticism at its peak form. And I just cool to learn about it. And I always love to learn how stuff works. So the more I learn about it, the more I love it. And I will be a lifelong fan as well. So it's been nothing but blessings. And I mean, I'm just grateful to be a part of the community, and I want to see it crush and thrive in every single way.
Yeah, I didn't see that in the beginning. I know we're advocating for MMA fighters, but one thing that we're kind of doing is actually introducing people to martial arts a little bit too, and educating people in that form. So as a martial artist, I'm always like an advocator for martial arts. Not everybody could be a fighter. I understand that, but I believe everyone could get into martial arts. Maybe it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, maybe it's just boxing, maybe it's something, but I always recommend for everybody just to get punched in the face one time, you know, just one time. So but
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that the word is spreading. I'm sorry, Ian, I cut you off.
Oh no, you're good, brother. Yeah, no, I mean, what do you know about yourself really until you've been in a fight? You know, and that's true in many senses. However, everyone's a fighter, whether you know it or not. You're fighting something in your life, and like Cairo was saying, you know, MRIs really took you know, a belief that I truly believe in, is that you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. And they are helping so many fighters and helping so many community members get what they want. And I literally was praying to God that somehow I was going to be able to afford the stem cell treatment. And literally when Bryce told me he was going to cover that and they sent the Ethereum, I hit my knees in the middle of a Toyota dealership when I was getting an oil change, and praise the Lord, because God truly brought me to Bryce. And he's bringing Cairo to jiu-jitsu classes. I know Larpy, one of our biggest investors in Marshall Inu, has started to train and just really, he just been inspired to just get in better health and just start changing, making life-changing decisions. So you've helped so many people, Bryce, and the rest of the team. And guys, we're a little bit past the hour, so we're not going to keep everyone too long. Shout out to Rozenstruik for getting on. We're really excited to see his fight. I know he's busy, but he's hodling his Bitcoin and his Ethereum. You guys heard it first. And he's super bullish on MRI, and he's probably somewhere in South America right now, but who really knows? And we appreciate him coming on. He's a star. He's got knockout of the century, and we're hoping to see another one. And I'm sure the fans, and I know we are all excited. So if anyone doesn't have anything else to close it out, I just want to say, guys, follow me on Twitter, follow Brandon on Twitter, Cairo, follow Bryce and Marshall Inu if you're listening to this. Bryce said it here first. We're going to have a huge update probably around Monday. I'm starting my YouTube channel this Sunday. So, guys, make sure you tune into that. It's going to be a Marshall Inu video. Of course, first, we're going to drop the Marshall Inu video here in my studio, which is almost done. And I appreciate all your guys' time. And, Bryce, if you don't have anything else, then I think we'll be done.
No, I think you wrapped it up pretty well. But yeah, honestly, again, thank you to the three of you. You guys have been very avid and longtime supporters of MRI, as well as to everyone listening and the community. It's been awesome. But yeah, I know we're still doing stuff to revolutionize cryptocurrency as well as the MMA community. So again, glad to be a part of it, and I guess just keep pushing, and we're gonna be there soon, you know. So.
Yes, sir. All-time highs coming in soon, folks.
Okay, well,
load up the bags. Not financial advice.
Until Cairo gets a degree, we can't.
Let's go.
I think we're good to go. So take care, everyone.
Take care, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
See you guys.
Thanks.